Hello everyone, it is the Yellow Spider, and today I am going to be teaching you how to play Corrin. Now, as we should be starting with all of these videos, we will be starting with the main strengths and weaknesses of Corrin. Corrin is a strange character in terms of most of his attacks. Not to say that in a bad way, it's just they have a few different properties that you don't normally see from most characters in this game. Corrin is known for having an extreme amount of reach, bigger than most other Fire Emblem characters. He attacks very quickly, and he's able to stack up pretty good damage with combos. Although he does have trouble finishing off the opponent unless it's with a smash attack, because all of his attacks go a certain way, like they're meant to hit the opponent up. This is good for getting combos, not so good for actually finishing the opponent off, because usually you're trying to launch them left or right. Now we will start off with how we do with all the other videos, which is the normal attacks. Corrin has two types of jab combos. There's where you're mashing the button randomly, and then there's a simple 3-strike. Now, with most characters that have two jab combos like this, you usually use the mashing one when you're already getting hits on the opponent, and you just go bum 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 when you know the opponent's blocking, because it's a lot safer to do that. It's also a bit more launching, but only slightly. Whichever one you end with shouldn't matter as long as you get the hit on the opponent or not. Corrin has, well, his forward tilt is simple, has good range. It doesn't take too long to come out, and doesn't take too long to come back. Not much to say about it. It's good for spacing out and just getting a quick strike on the opponent. And it is relatively safe, and you're able to get it at a good distance. It is single strike though, so if you're being predictable with this, a perfect block will, frankly, utterly destroy you. Corrin's low attack is good for a combo starter, and it goes very quickly, quicker than most of his other attacks. While it doesn't do as much damage, it is good for starting up juggling and all that. While some things you may do with it aren't true combos, the opponent is definitely not able to counterattack after you do most of these things. Also has good reach, and it recovers quicker than the forward tilt. The up tilt is what you're able to transfer into. You are able to get it while running straight up to your opponent, but the hitbox is a bit weird, so I would not trust it. You are able to chain it up with other moves, which I will go on to shortly, but just know it is a good mid combo. Now we will talk about Corrin's aerials. His neutral aerial is frankly amazing. It has a bunch of reach, it goes in front and in back of him. What's so good about this? One, your opponent is not going to be doing any mix-ups or anything around you, because, boom, they can't go behind you and do something, they can't go in front or ahead of you and do something. This is nearly hard to dodge, and your opponent basically has to block this or hit you before you do this. It is also a good combo starter, but it really only works when you're at mid damage, so I wouldn't suggest doing this. At lower percentages, I would suggest you try spacing your opponent out. Neutral air is still a good move to do, but don't try doing combos with neutral air until medium damage. Forward aerial is a good mid combo and ender, because you're able to chain this up with most things. You could just full on go across the screen doing like forward aerials for real. And you're even able to end it up with an up aerial, which is your main combo ender, but it doesn't end it for everything. Usually it goes from forward aerial to up aerial. Another thing to note about up aerial is it is able to kill if the opponent's high enough and they're at a good enough damage. So it's never really a bad idea to try and just jump straight up in the air and go for an up aerial, because it is a good chance that it will just flat out kill them. It is not able to kill from combo, however. Now, Corrin's back aerial is a bit special. it does have good launch, so at high percentages, it can get good kills. But when you do it, it launches your character forward a little bit. Now, it's good for juking out opponents, but another use you can have for this move is when you're trying to recover. You could do that into up special, and bam, you already have a few more spaces to get back to the stage. It does recover also very quickly, so it's not one of your more high-launching moves, but it's definitely a good tool set to have with Corrin, because you're always trying to space the opponent out. And Corrin's last aerial attack is down aerial. It's a bit weird. It is multi-hit, and it is technically a spike, but not by complete definition. When you do it, you will head straight down, and it is multi-hit. If it doesn't hit your opponent directly, and they're at least nearby, it will still hit them with the last few hits. Now, something to note about this move, you could just full-on suicide bomb off the stage while your opponent is off. But it is hard to pull off, and, well, even then, sometimes it doesn't work all the way because your down aerial is over by the time. And by the time it's over, they still get a chance to recover back. I would only suggest doing this if you were, say, fighting a heavy character with a terrible recovery. Now we will talk about Corrin's smash attacks. Right before I go on about the up tilts, because I forgot to talk about that. Up tilt is also a good combo ender. Well, mid combo and combo ender, because at medium percentages, you're usually able to chain up neutral air, up aerial, and then up air after that. You're basically able to go neutral air, up aerial, into literally anything you want after that. Usually a forward aerial into an up aerial. Now we will talk about Corrin's smash attacks. All of his smash attacks have a special property, well, yeah, all of them, where if you're close enough to the opponent and you're charging it up, it will already start doing damage to them afterwards, and then you could just keep holding them up like this until you release it. While all of them have a weird placing for it, if you get this off, it is really good damage. And honestly, Corrin's smash attacks are one of the best things about him. Because, really, they have a long amount of reach and can get almost anywhere, and you're able to confirm the hit, so you can just run straight up to opponent, do this smash attack, and get ready to do this. Look how long I charged that up and for how long it worked. Now, there's not too much more to say other than that, even though that is a really cool effect, but Corrin's forward smash comes out very quickly, does take a bit to recover, but I don't see you getting punished from this if you're just running around trying to evade and you suddenly go boom. So you could just throw the forward smash out there, just do it at a safe distance. Down smash doesn't have as much reach, but it is good for when the opponent is trying to roll behind you. Corrin's up special does also have good reach, but it's specifically above you. You are able to get it close by, but it will specifically launch in the air, which is not a bad idea because when in the air, the opponent can easily get killed by an up aerial, as you see there. Now we will talk about Corrin's special attacks. His neutral air is a bit weirder than most ranged attacks, but not too much. Think of it as like Samus's, where you're able to charge it up for a certain amount of time, but you just can't save it. So, with a simple push of B, it will do a small orb that will hit the opponent. If you charge it up longer, it will do it a bigger. But there's a second part to this neutral special that there is some quality about it that makes it very good for a killing move. Now, you may notice that the larger the orb, the more the opponent stays there. That's because when the opponent gets hit by the orb, they get stunned for a bit. This helps give you time to approach the opponent so you can get some hits on them from up close. You'll already have good pressure on them. But if you're close up to the opponent while doing it, it has a second strike. It does massive amounts of damage and massive amounts of launch. A good thing to try and do with this neutral special is just do it at different reaches. And then you could go straight up close and just go for the full-on, full-charged neutral special. You could do this with any range, however, it will... Of course, the longer you hold it, the more powerful it is. Simple as that. That's how most of these attacks go. Corrin's side special is, well, frankly special. When you push it first, it will launch you straight up, well, a bit into the air. You will do a short hop. If you push it again, you will immediately launch into the ground. Now when you do this, it will automatically, if you hit the ground, it will get stuck into it, and you're able to do a few things after that. If you do it while you're not hitting the ground, it will just flat out miss and do that. You can skip the hop if you've already jumped up in the air, though. The things you're able to do from chaining up from the ground is go forward. You can immediately go for a turnaround. There's not much difference between this. Mostly if your opponent's trying to escape from behind if you hit the ground but did not hit them. You can push down to immediately cancel out of your side special in case you miss. Or you can push up right afterwards to do a jump, if you want to be in the air instead of letting it go from the ground. Corrin's up special, it doesn't have much reach, and it's hard to kind of reach the stage from here, which is why it's good to remember to do your back aerial, because it helps you get back onto the stage. But there is a special property with it. Besides the fact that it can get kills off, even though I wouldn't recommend it because risky, most likely to kill you. It is invincible right when you start it. So, if you know an opponent's gonna attack you, you can straight up do that, and now they're far away from you. If you want them away from you, up special. Of course, it's terrible for you if you block it, so I would use this with caution, and I would do this very rarely. Other than that, there's not much to say about the up special. Now, down special. This is a counter move that Corrin has. If you've played any Fire Emblem character or any other character with a counter, you know how it works. If you do this right when an opponent hits you, well, you attack them with more force than what they hit you with. There is something special about Corrin's though. It does take a bit to start up, so say an opponent only did a jab on you. They are able to block afterwards. Will most likely be able to block afterwards. Anything else though, well, they're just gonna go straight up flying. And Corrin's counter does have a specific hit arc to it. For example, I will now change the computer to start doing stuff. Let's go side smash, since I know she's gonna do it. Okay. Cooperate. It goes in a large area when you do the counter, which means it will hit from all directions. Above you, behind you, in front of you. So that means it's gonna be hard for the opponent to dodge if they're in midair, like with most other attacks. Alright, Peach, that's enough. Now we will talk about Corrin's grabs. Forward grab, back grab, and down grab and up grab. There's not much to say about all of them. They do have good launch, but they will never be good for combos. They go too far to do anything with them. They are merely for getting the opponent off the stage and can sometimes kill. If you're trying to kill the opponent, do it in the direction that they're closest to. Forward and back. Back throw is much more effective. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. And, well, because I love playing this character as well, I will now show you some footage of it.
3, 2, 1, go!
my choice. My path is clear.
Yeah!